this whole way of life, sometimes it just feel overwhelming?
Absolutely. I mean, it's tough. Especially the last 2 or 3 years have been extremely stressful and tough to wonder how to make it through from month to month. I mean, especially when you're short, $4,000 to $5,000 a month in your income, and you still got the same expenses. It's super straining.
Yeah. Hey, it's Haas from GNAT News. Wilcox Farm, also known as Silver Springs Farm in Manchester, Vermont, has been a going concern since 1898. It's one of the few remaining farms in Bennington County, is now run by fifth-generation Wilcox's Adam and Brittany, and it could very well be approaching its final days. Friends have gathered and started a GoFundMe campaign in an attempt to generate much-needed cash to keep it going. I recently sat down with Adam to understand what is happening not just to them, but to this ancient farm. My understanding is that, first off, you have a whole barn complex that you're trying to not only make work, but upgrade the facility.
Right. I mean, that over there, like when people come in, I mean, I just dislike it. It's hard to keep clean. It's not. If we're trying to sell a product, I want something that's neat and clean where people can come in and see the cows. They're sort of clean. I mean, that over there is work for us to keep us going, but to change the course of this, I just needed to have the barn back where it used to be, because as respectful, man, when you're working on it, if you're busting your butt every day, you want to be proud of what you have, and that over there is just
right. And that barn that you have, what is that called?
It's a coverall.
It's a coverall.
Yeah. I mean, I'd use that for my youngest.
It looks like a big windbreaker.
Right. I mean, it keeps them out of the weather for the most part until we had a storm 2 years ago, or the wind, and wind blew them right in, and we haven't had that money to put new ones up, because it's like $15,000 to put new ends up, and I'm like, we don't even have that at the moment. So for people who are coming around and kind of want to look at, if we have a processing plan and stuff, I want to be able to, maybe have schools come, like we used to when we were younger, MEMS and different schools just come around and see the ice cream man, and they go in to the barn and see how the cows milk and see where the milk goes. We kind of want to
get back to that.
But it has to be like a nice, clean, kind of like Billings Farm. People can walk in and kind of see how everything's done. And if we do tours or something, people come for ice cream. I mean, my dad would be great for that. If you go in and show them how the cows are milked and where the milk goes, and then if we bottle some of our milk again, it'd be great. Then they could buy some of our milk and stuff. That's why we're looking at a few years down the road, maybe have a store where we can try to grow more of our stuff from the farm here, and have some place where people can just come and.
Because now you feel like people will look at it and go, I don't know if we're invited.
Right.
So the goal is like how do we improve our barn, our whole system.
Right, just in our way of life too. It'd be nice to be able to hire someone. It's hard over there. I mean, my dad and I can do it, but if I want someone, take time off or something, or get someone in regularly that can help, I just want to. Even high school kids, I could train them how to milk if it was in a. Yeah. If the cows are just there and then you can show them what to do, then a couple nights a week would be huge or whatever. Well, right now I'm doing meat at the restaurant, but we kind of I always have extra sitting in the freezer, so we thought about we wanted to do a farm store next to the ice cream stand and kind of be able to sell my meat there, beef and pork and veal and chicken. We talked about doing chickens, and then if we want to do sweet corn this year and add that into it. Great idea. So it'd be a great spot for, like I said, if we start processing our milk or come up with another product that we could do besides that. I mean, I know processing milk isn't probably going to be super value added, but and possibly could in a smaller scale. And then if that starts working, then I could cut down my herd size. And if other stuff builds like the meat, people are always looking for a local. They want to know where their product comes from.
So instead of one stream of income, all of a sudden you can count on if one goes down, the others are still functioning.
Even get down on a cow. I mean, I don't want to. The new barn would hold probably 80 to 90, and I honestly, it's more enjoyable to milk 40 or something. But right now in our debt load and our circumstances, we have to milk that and then pay for that facility. But then that facility could later on be used for, if beef starts going well, you can downsize your cow herd, and then do something like that. Because our friends why don't you make a butter? If you had different breeds, you could do. Different breed butter or something, just something different than somebody else is doing. So it could function as people, a lot of people look for things to do with their families in the summer. I mean, they could come down and you could do tours at certain times. See how most people don't know where they're milked. I mean, that's a cool thing. If you did it where people could see where the cows are milked and where it's processed and you could buy it. Yeah. You don't have anything around like that really.
It's true.
So it'd be, I mean,
It's
it
true.
would give family
really
experience. I mean, if they come for ice cream, my wife runs the ice cream stand out there, so it'd just be kind of cool if you had something that people could just even walk around and just experience,
Yeah.
see how things are done on the, a working farm that you're.
So can you tell me a little about the GoFundMe? Because that's someone has set up a GoFundMe page to help raise money to build this barn. Is that correct?
The help right now, our crucial thing is trying to get extra income. For the price of milk's been so bad for the last 3 years that we've sold a lot of our young animals to help pay for our bills, and now my herd size is down and there's not enough income to pay for everything. So I was trying to get money now to buy 20 more cows that'll give me enough income to help pay for the monthly bills, and then try to start getting out of this kind of hamster wheel we've been in for the last 3 years because the price of milk's better. So the main thing with the GoFundMe right now is just trying to get money because I'm trying to get a business plan done so I can try to get money for funds for the barn. But my initial thing right now was trying to pay for some cows that would generate income for me each month. It'd be an extra 12 to 14,000, which would really help get out of our position that we're struggling in each month right now. So,
I mean, if the GoFundMe thing fails, are you out of ideas?
no, my mind keeps.
Yeah, you go, okay. This
that
isn't.
doesn't work. So
Right.
I did that last year. I mean, I didn't think I could make it through. Last year was pretty tough. I even thought about working for
How to
friend,
survive.
friend of mine. I started selling a few cows, and I'm like, well, I don't know if I really want to work for someone. And then if I did go, if we sold everything, then there wouldn't be. It wouldn't still have the little income that we're getting to pay for what we need to do to keep the place here in our home. And so I'm like, well, until we get out of that position, and I still just put my head to the grindstone to figure out a way to.
Right.
Until we're out of this. We got some debt and some other obligations that need to be paid off, and until that's done, there's still that monkey on your back. So I guess that's why I didn't step away. I almost did last year. Like I said, I talked to a friend of mine twice where I went up and saw him to work for leeches up there, a family or a friend, farm friend. He was all set to hire me. Actually, he just called me the other day. He was looking for someone again. Want to know what state position I was in, and he understands it's tough to walk away from your family farm. I mean,
because you grew up in
Right.
this. This
Right.
is the love of your life in a way.
yeah.
And
So it's tough. Even when the missus she understands. She grew up in Paulet, but unless you're actually doing it, you don't have that
Yes.
tied to it and really understand.
Right.
She understands, the work
Right.
ethic and all that, but unless you're, doing it every single day and you're born into it and living it, I mean, what you have around you is, kind of your life. And
I mean, I'm always reminded of the Civil War when they said, after everybody came back to Vermont from the Civil War, they said, we're out of here because there's actually land that doesn't have rocks. I mean, do you feel that there could be a time in Vermont where, there's not a lot of farms left right now in Bennington County, period, right?
Right.
But when you look into the future, do you see people like yourself not being here anymore? Do you see the whole farm concept, or do you see it changing, or?
no, I see like there's what there's three other friends of mine that are about my age that they're trying to do everything. They're stepping out the side of the box compared to what their dads did, their fathers did, and so they're trying to look at ways, how can I either cut the herd size down and be totally self-sufficient, like growing their own grain now. A lot of them are growing their own grain, so they don't have to buy grain in, so that cuts some huge costs out of their, operating expenses. And so they're trying to look at, downsizing their herds from, 200 down to 120, and then taking that land and he actually grew hemp this year, but he's growing his own corn now for grain and stuff. And my other friend's doing the same thing. He's growing soybeans and stuff, and they're trying to look at stuff different to save money, but yet to keep their farm going, because they're obviously they're not going to let their farm go either. He said the same thing. They're trying to keep ways, keep their farm going, but they got to look at it differently because they don't want to get bigger, and they're like I said, they downsized. And
Right, and there seems to be only two people left in Vermont that can afford, not afford, but that can have open land. The rich or farmers. So sometimes I think, all right, once the farms go, just going to be a whole bunch of trees. Can't see anything. But listen, thanks for taking the time. I hope the GoFundMe works, and I hope. Well, I'm a little older than you, I'll admit it, but that if I'm 89 driving along this road, I look over here, and I see you, or maybe your daughter, still running the place. So I hope so.
You're not the only one.
Yeah.